Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I am going over the NBA slate. That's right, NBA slate for opening night. We have 2 games to get us started. We have a monster one for Wednesday, so get ready for that one as well. But super excited, NBA is back. We have a long grind for the season. Stay tuned. You got to be on your toes, up to lock for changes, injuries, all that good stuff. But let's go ahead and get started with this one. As always, you can hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't already, especially with NBA starting. We still have football content, have lots of videos to be made, lots of money to be made. So make sure you stick around. You can hit the bell icon if you want to be notified whenever I post. Check out Twitter for updates at the DFS process, especially with a sport like NBA. There's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of injuries that we get close to lock. Visit the website if you want to not deal with that and just get the picks, dfsprocess.net. Check out the passes there. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get started. So 2 games. We already got one big piece of news with Steve Kerr saying that the Warriors starters are not ready to play 30-plus minutes. Said that on Underdog NBA, tweeted that over on their Twitter. So that's going to make them be very less appealing compared to the other teams, assuming that they're not doing the same thing, which, don't really expect them to. The Warriors they're the Warriors. They're going to do that just with how much playing time they played through the playoffs last year, and with their guys becoming older, Curry, Thompson coming off all his injuries over the years, and Green, their core is no longer super young. So it makes sense what Kerr's doing. At least he came out and told us so we can make some adjustments. But personally, there's a couple of pieces that jump right off the bat. So if you want to take a look at the starting lineups, projected starting lineups, you can look at some different fantasy sites. RotoGrinders has one. They expect Harden, Sixers lineup looks how I would expect it. Harden, Maxey, Tobias, PJ Tucker, and Embiid. Embiid looks the best, one of the best plays on the slate at 99. Just without Robert Williams on the Celtics side, who's going to be out for 8 to 12 weeks. He's going to be matched up against an aging Al Horford, who still played well defensively over last season, but his age is going to catch up to him at some point. He's not going to be able to slow down Embiid for the whole game. And then Tyrese Maxey would be favorite overall raw point per dollar play. Embiid will be the raw points play. Those two would be great pieces to get into your lineup, and then I like Tobias as a third option. On the Celtics side, they're also viable because of some injuries. No Robert Williams, which means that they can go smaller in this one. They're going to see more playing time for a $4,100 Derek White, who's expected to start at shooting guard alongside Marcus Smart, who's also pretty cheap. So White would be my favorite play based on his price tag. Al Horford would be a great play just because he's going to get the minutes. They don't really have any other center that they would want to play up against Embiid, so expect Horford to kind of match Embiid's playing time. Grant Williams can play the 4 a bit, but then you have the 2 studs, Tatum and Brown. They're going to get theirs. But in terms of just the point per dollar plays, Derek White, Al Horford, Malcolm Brogdon, they're the 3 that really stick out. Over on the Lakers side, they're also dealing with some injuries. There is a chance that Russell Westbrook doesn't play. He's technically a game time decision, according to some guys on Twitter, on Underdog as well. So if he's not going to play, then that makes $3,000 Kendrick Nunn look super enticing, and he's had a tremendous preseason for them, filling in at times as a starter. He put up 21, 7, and 4. He didn't play for them last year after he was acquired with some injuries, but he's played well in a couple preseason games at $3,000. With them being out, Dennis Schroeder, with Russell Westbrook being a game-time decision, you might want to leave a spot open because that would make Kendrick Nunn become one of the better value plays, if not one of the best value plays on the slate, if he happens to become the 6th man, if there is no Westbrook, or possibly could even start ahead of Patrick Beverley. This is definitely just a mock lineup. And then on the Warriors side, if they're not going to play 30-plus minutes, it's going to be tough to get to a lot of them. You might still want to get to 1 if possible. That would probably be like Klay Thompson or Draymond on Draftkings, just based on the price tag. They wouldn't get to 7K Wiggins or 94 Curry if he's not going to play 30 minutes. And the bench is kind of hit or miss. Some of these guys are pricey, like Wiseman, DiVincenzo, Kuminga, Poole. He might get some more run just being younger and getting that nice contract. But on terms of the teams that I just feel, the first game is what I'm going to have a lot of players from, just because I have some shortened rotations, just with some injuries, and kind of know what to expect, and we have great price tags. Whereas Warriors are tough to get to, a lot of them, just with the news of them, their starters not playing a ton. And then the Lakers, they're a little bit up in the air right now with Westbrook. And we know that they will really rely on Davis and LeBron James. On DraftKings, I think Davis is one of the best plays at 85. Just based on his price tag, and he's done well against the Warriors. So looking at you guys' starting 5 plays that I really love for this 2-gamer. If anything changes, definitely stay tuned for Twitter. I'll post the updates there. But the first up at point guard position, tough not to start with the $5,000 Tyrese Maxey. He took big steps forward for the Sixers last year. He's now entering another season, getting a full training camp. Still very, very young. He's, I think, only 21 or 22 years old. He might have been turned 22. But super young, super athletic, very fun to watch. He plays big minutes. In the first couple weeks, he might not play as much just with them wanting to ease their guys into a lot of teams will just ease their starters in. Don't want to risk any injuries early on while these guys are still getting their conditioning up. But Maxey at 5K, you're getting like a $1,500 to $2,000 discount on what he typically will be as the season gets to the midway point, as we get closer to the end of the season. So he's definitely one of the best plays. Another one over at the shooting guard position that's also super cheap is, don't mind getting to like Harden or Brown. I would probably like Brown more than Harden. Harden has looked good in training camp. He looks like he lost some weight. Took that decreased contract from the Sixers to let them free up some money and get to PJ Tucker or get to Daniel House, bring in some more free agents. So good. That's good on James Harden. Doesn't need the extra money. But on this one against the Celtics, I'd probably still go a little bit cheaper at this position. Like, I don't mind getting to Brown, Thompson. If you wanted to get to at least one Warrior, he looks okay. But we do have great price tags on Marcus Smart at 52. Malcolm Brogdon is only 49. He's going to be the sixth man for them off the bench. We know he can fill it up in terms of points, rebounds, and assists. Also a pretty good defensive player. He can get you maybe like a steal a game, possibilities for a block shot every now and then. But he's just going to be able to get some extra usage handling the ball off the bench as a sixth man. But it's tough to pass up on $4,100 Derek White. He's going to be starting. Looks like alongside Marcus Smart. He's played great in the preseason. He finished it out with 23, 3, 2, and 1 line with 5 of 6 from 3. He kind of didn't really click right away when he joined the Celtics. He had a couple of good games, but seems like now he's had an offseason to kind of get acclimated to the team, to the culture, to the playing style. I think he's going to have a much better season as he gets under his first full season with the Celtics, and very tough to fade a $4,100 price tag on him. Over at small forward, the top end, LeBron James, Tatum, like LeBron more than Tatum. Wiggins is going to be a fade for me. $5,900 Tobias looks pretty good. He's going to be the third or fourth option for them, but he can get you some rebounds, possibilities for double-double. He can get you some assists as well. He's a pretty good rebounder. So at that price tag, he's definitely one of the better mid-range plays. Value-wise, Lonnie Walker's probably going to start for the Lakers. He looks okay at that price tag, and then don't know if you need to go to anybody that's down here too much. Over at the power forward position, go ahead and put in Anthony Davis. Love that price tag, 85. We know he's always a risk of going to the locker room. He's probably going to do that maybe double-digit times this year. We'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But this price tag is also way too cheap. He's typically going to be a $10,000 plus player. Especially if Westbrook doesn't play, then it's going to be very easy to get to Davis and very tough to pass on him. Getting almost a $2,000 discount on Anthony Davis. Last year against the Warriors in a couple of games, he averaged almost 50 against them, 47, averaged almost a double-double. Didn't shoot the free throw line well against them, but he's still Anthony Davis. He's still going to give you monster upside for blocks, for rebounding, for just getting easy shots at the basket. So at that price tag, I feel better by getting to him than 9K Tatum or 92 LeBron. But once again, Tobias would be a great play. Al Horford will get to him. But 49, he's going to be tough to fade as well, being the starting center for the Celtics without Robert Williams for a while. But over at center, Embiid is going to be the guy I start with, $9,900. We know last year he felt like he was robbed of the MVP. Feel like he's going to come for it this year. He's dominated the Celtics last year, 4 meetings, put up 56 against them. They do have a good defense, but they're missing their best defensive player in Robert Williams, so it'll be a little bit tough for them to stop Embiid with a aging Al Horford. And speaking of Al Horford, at his price tag, he's going to be in my lineup for sure at 49. They don't have any other center to really match up to Embiid, and even Horford is a mismatch for Embiid, but he's going to be the best option that they got. He's had some good games last year when he's got the playing time, whenever Robert Williams was missing time. Missed some games in the playoffs and the regular season. Horford would get a bump in minutes, get a bump in production, and that's to be expected. This price tag, it's just a great bargain. Leaves you still with 6K left for the last few spots. Touched on the pieces that I like, just running through the last game. Kendrick Nunn, $3,000. Keep an eye on him. I think he looks like a great option if you needed to go to a very cheap option. And then Warriors are a little bit of a fade, but probably Thompson would be a decent option, I guess, if you just wanted to get to 1 at his price tag. Lakers side, keep an eye on Russell Westbrook news. That's going to be big. LeBron, if you wanted to pay up for him, probably behind Davis for me based on price tag. But that first game, just like it better from a DFS perspective, even if though it does have a lower total, just based on you kind of have better pricing and you have guys that you know are going to get the playing time and the usage. So that's it for DraftKings. Go ahead now and run through FanDuel. All right, over on FanDuel, point guard plays. Once again, Curry is going to be tough to get to if he's not going to hit 30 minutes at 10,000. So I'd rather get to Harden. Westbrook is cheap if he does happen to play, but I'm not that sold on him, especially if he's coming off the bench. He might get more usage, but he probably see less minutes. Might not be in the closing lineup. We'll see what they decide to do because he's got to earn some more playing time this year. As crazy it is to say, like they were a worse team with him on the floor last year. But once again, I'm going to start with Tyrese Maxey. Like the price tag, he's dual position eligibility, point guard and shooting guard. If you're not going to be able to get to some of these Warrior starters like Wiggins and Thompson on FanDuel, then Maxey makes a clear pivot there. Value picks would be Smart, Beverly, but probably if I had to rank them in terms of my preferred option, it would be White, Smart, Nunn. If Westbrook's out, Beverly, and that's it. Shooting guard, DeAnthony Melton is going to get some minutes, but he's behind those guys. At the shooting guard position, definitely plug in Derek White at 44. He's going to be one of the best values on both sites. Small forward, it's where I don't mind getting to Jaylen Brown. He's only 1,200 more than Thompson. He's only 1,300 more than Wiggins, and he probably could play 5 more minutes than those guys if what we heard is true. LeBron's going to be tough to get to at almost 11,000. Tatum, I'd rather get down to Brown for almost 2K less. Tobias looks fine. He's 700 more than he is on DraftKings, so you can make a case for getting to Brown instead. Lonnie Walker for the value. It's decent. Over at power forward, go ahead and put in Anthony Davis once again. I like him based on the price tag more than LeBron. I like him more than Tatum. 6K options. Wiggins and Draymond might be tougher to get to, so I like Tobias more. Horford still looks good even at 6,000. And then if you wanted to take a punt play for maybe like a Grant Williams or like a JaMychal Green, might see some minutes off the bench for the Warriors, maybe a little bit more than expected. And then last but not least, at center, I'm not going to fade Embiid on a 2-gamer going up against the Celtics. The Sixers-Celtics rivalry goes back many years. These guys, they're probably still cool off the court, but on the court, they're looking to try to destroy the other team. So I think Embiid is going to start off the season on a high note, start off the season trying to get the Sixers to win, although it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a tough one. There are underdogs right now, but anything can happen. But once again, on FanDuel, I'm still getting to that first game better. More than the second game. But that's what I like for this opening night. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Once again, check out the links down below in the description if you want to check out Twitter or join the team. And best of luck. Hope you guys win some money, and I will see you all next time.